Welcome back, you guys. This is Makeup Meets Skin, where art and science meet beauty. We have a new episode for you. This is episode what? 3, 4? What is it?
3.
Episode 3 of season 3, which means we've been here for a long time. We've been doing this for a long time, Megan. What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about continuing education.
Okay.
The importance of it.
And the importance of it. What can you tell me about? Well, first thing first, what is continuing education?
Well, it's kind of all about being a lifetime learner.
Okay.
More or less.
So if you ever want to enter the beauty industry, just so you know, it's a never-ending story, you guys.
Yeah, true. But, I mean, there's always something to learn, you know. It's not necessarily the fact that technologies are changing or procedures are changing, which they are, but there's always something to learn.
Yes, there's always something to learn, sometimes from others, from other professionals. Sometimes there are new things that come out, so you gotta learn the new technology or the new ingredients or whatever. Sometimes you just gotta learn something because you didn't know, because we only know what we know, so that's another thing. Okay, so is it important?
Yes.
Yes.
Very.
Very, very important. Why is that, Megan? Tell me why, as a makeup artist, I should seek continuing education.
Because you want to be better than the person standing next to you.
Oh,
and more knowledgeable. Not just better, more knowledgeable.
More knowledgeable. Yes, good point. Because I feel like as beauty professionals, there's 2 parts in the knowledge of a beauty professional. One is the theory part.
Yes.
And that's what you learn from a webinar, from the books, from the product development meeting that you go through. But then the other part is building the skills.
Yes, the technique.
The technique. So it's not only learning something new, it's also learning how to do that one new thing.
Yeah.
Right? So continuing education is extremely important for makeup artists, estheticians, hairdressers, nail techs, pretty much anybody that works in this industry.
It's almost needing to understand the why of how something functions or works, or why are you putting that on my face?
Right, especially when you work with active ingredients or when you do treatments that actually, like microneedling, that, like you said, causes micro injuries to the skin.
Yes.
See, I learned. So, yes, that's very, very important that people keep learning. Do we offer continuing education? Do you offer continuing education?
Not really, but I have looked into creating like a program for it, to where there's like a workbook and things like that. So if you have an interest in learning maybe like advanced chemical peels or microneedling, let me know and I might push it forward a little bit.
Yes, you should. You should, because like as instructors in beauty schools, we are always kind of stuck with what State Board tells us to teach.
Yeah.
There are things that are mandatory that we must cover because those are State Board requirements, and we talked about this before, but different states have different laws, so but there are these things that we must teach and we're stuck to those. We can definitely add other things, but going through school and getting the license, completing whatever many hours you need to complete to get a license is not the end of the job right there. And it's definitely not everything that there is to know and learn about the profession. So like I teach a program that's about 80 hours of makeup, something like that, and that's just the entry point of what a makeup artist needs to know. That's just very like the basic essentials 101 of makeup, so you can start working on people and building those. But in reality, there's way more things that a makeup artist should learn, and the same goes with aesthetic. We teach them, you teach them what you have to teach them and add whatever you want to add, but there's only so much you can do in the so many hours that they have to go to school.
And every person has different experiences in the industry. So something that I might provide is different than a different instructor. Something that we have talked about before is work ethic.
Yes.
That is a huge part of continuing education. I would say if you have good work ethic, you are continuously pursuing continuing education.
True. Even though, a lot of people feel like they arrived somewhere,
Yeah.
they don't seek any extra education. But I guess, I don't know, I guess the word education makes people feel like they're students again. Whether to me, further education is just, I look at it as enrichment of my profession. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I know this much. Well, let me go listen to the other lady and see what she knows, and maybe I already know some of the things, but maybe she knows 2 or 3 things that I never heard about, or that I never really explored, or maybe I never looked at them the way she looks at them. So it's always nice and interesting, in my opinion, to go and seek further education as enrichment of your titles and profession.
So in our industry, some states require continuing education to renew your license, but in Kansas and Missouri, that is not a requirement. But for our instructor license, that is a requirement, and they have specifics on what is counted for.
Right, you can't just go and take a class, a regular class, right?
Yeah.
How
and
often?
then you have to, so the first year that after the first 2 years of having your instructor license, you do not have to submit continuing education. But then after that, you have to submit 20 hours of
20, I think
continuing
it's 20,
education every time you renew.
Right, and you have to go on their website and see where they want you to go.
Yes, it's very specific.
Very specific. Yeah, otherwise people, go to any random class just to clock in hours and.
Well, yeah,
good.
because, at trade shows or like when I went to the Skin Games, there were many continuing education classes, but they didn't count towards any state board requirements.
Right.
So that's also something very important to keep an eye out for
Right.
if you're investing.
Right, yes, but obviously, because continuing education, like every time you go seek further education, that one comes with a price tag. It's not free, which, I think I talked about this before. I don't want to sound like I condone gatekeeping, but I kind of do. Because I don't know why it's such a bad word, gatekeeping. Listen, you pay to go to school. Why should you give the information out for free? I don't understand it.
Maybe that's an American thing.
I guess. I don't know. But I told you before, like a long time ago, my makeup mom was like, "Why are you guys giving away this information for free when you're paying for it? It makes no sense whatsoever." Which is not about not helping people succeed, because I can help you succeed by showing you the path to go to success, but I can't show you everything that I don't know. Anyway, you guys, you gotta pay for your education. Now, with that being said, there are people who take advantage of that, and sometimes they charge ridiculous amounts that have no rhyme or reason. And somebody could say, well, how do you put a price tag on knowledge? True, but who are we talking about? Because like if I'm going to a master class of a celebrity makeup artist, or a very successful makeup artist, like, I don't know, Val Garland, who's been in the industry for 40 years, she had covers in every magazine. Well, then I understand that the price tag there is really high. But otherwise, if we're talking about here locally, I mean, I've seen some prices. You guys are crazy.
But that brings up a good point. You need to check their credentials, check their work history, check their portfolios.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of things that you need to check. You can't just go off of what's on their Instagram. Because, I mean, you can edit the crap out of some videos and make their work look really good.
You're
but
right.
Let me tell you, seeing them in person and watching them put makeup on, it might be a whole different story.
Exactly. And it's funny how everything ties all together, because this brings up social media, how a lot of people can fake social media. I've seen not long ago on TikTok a video of a girl, a newer makeup artist, who was seeking for further education, and she booked a makeup artist from Dallas, I believe, I don't remember, but anyway, just a normal quote-unquote makeup artist, not somebody with celebrity clients, no, just a normal. Well, the price tag was $1,600, so $1,600 for 4 hours, and the artist did half a face, and the newer artist, the student, did the other half. And she said that, she was not provided any lunch or anything, I think just some water, which I'm like, dude, are you serious? And then, she was like, I did not get any education because she didn't teach me how wire. She showed me how to do half a face, and I copied that step by step. And she's like, for $1,600, like that's a lot of money for that. You know, she expected a book or about some sort, you know, some paper, some education, some ingredients, no, you know, something. So, you know, that's why, like, you know, sure, you gotta charge people for your knowledge, but you also have to be honest in what you provide and offer as an educator, because $1,600 to watch me work, it's not money well spent.
Right. I also wonder about those people and their conscience. Like,
right.
How do they go through life every day just being okay with that?
Well, again, you know, the social media created this.
True.
And COVID. You know, when COVID happened, everybody was teaching something. The whole thing was, I remember seeing tons of videos of gurus and stuff, and they were like, everybody has something to teach. So monetize your knowledge, you know, and then you have people that know how to cook. So they're teaching how to cook. There's people that know how to sew. There's people that know how to do gardening, you know, blah, blah. And amongst those, there's also beauty professionals. So people start, you know, putting a price over their knowledge, which again, I 100% and wholeheartedly agree. But if you put certain prices on it, then you also have to provide the actual knowledge.
Yes. Man, I must have missed that train.
I witnessed it, but I didn't do anything with it. Because again, it involved doing social media, and I don't like that.
Right.
But, you know, think about it. You know, I could put together, actually, it's kind of like in the, no, it's not in the works, it's in the back of my mind. Having an online,
I will start to work on it.
Yes. Having, you know, an online makeup course.
Okay.
You know, but again, like if I put together an online makeup course, let's say 10 lessons, I cannot price it $5,000, you know?
Right.
Like, you kind of have to look at what you're offering, especially if it's something online that doesn't provide any feedback to the student. They're just listening to me or watching me. There's only so much that you can offer from an educational point of view. So, you know, it has to be a reasonable price that people are willing to spend.
And then what kind of follow-up do you offer in that program?
Right. You know, some of these courses are attached to like a monthly Zoom call or, you know, like stuff like that. Or they have like a WhatsApp group where they can ask questions, you know, or if they're trying to do something and they can't figure it out, they can ask questions, you know, and have that kind of like feedback. Because otherwise, you know, when it comes down to the videos, you're just watching a video.
Yeah.
You know, but I do find that in-person continuing education is much more valuable, and that's why also it comes at a different price tag, right? Like I charge, I think my classes here when it comes to artists, I charge about $100 an hour approximately, depending on the class, you know. But you know, I'm here, I do all the knowledge, they get the papers with everything explained, then there's the demonstration, and then they're here, so I can correct, guide them, do this, do that, let's redo this, let's redo that. And in my specific case, I also offer them portfolio pictures, so they also go home, you know, with tangible something that they can use to build their portfolio.
Wow.
And that's the whole idea, you know. But that type of, that's like a, almost, it's not a one-on-one really, but it's almost like a one-on-one, you know, education.
Yeah.
Whether online things, you know, they're nice, they have their place, but you can only learn so much by
because we're in a hands-on field.
You know, I can watch, exactly, like, you know how many haircuts videos I watched? That is not...
let me just tell you, okay, speaking of COVID, I watched a few haircut videos and I was like, I got this. Tried to cut Kyle's hair and I was like, nope, don't got this.
Yeah. It's crazy. So especially haircuts, I watch tons. Okay, you know, it's a very geometrical thing, hair cutting. So I'm kind of, you know, drawn to it naturally. You guys, I think I said this before, I'm a very logical, mathematical, break it down type of person. So for me, like when I see the drawings, you know, the haircuts, diagrams, and everything makes sense. Like I understand exactly what they're talking about, what are you supposed to do, how it works. That all makes sense. Then I try to do it with my hands and it just does not work. And I'm like, I did exactly that. It should fall like this. Why is it not working?
You're like, wait, this is all connected.
Right. You know, exactly, because as we were saying earlier, you know, what we do, there's the theory part, and then there's the practical part. And
Yeah.
the two, they go together, but also they don't, meaning that you can learn all the theory, that does not make you, you know, a professional.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes also this is something that our students can relate to, because they listen to us, to the lecture, you know, they're like, oh yeah, I understand, yeah, makes sense. And then, you know, you give them a brush in their hands, they're like, what do I do now?
Yep.
You know? Because connecting this with this is the difficult part.
Yeah. But on the skincare side of it, a lot of skincare companies, once you create an account with them, they offer free education, which is very nice because you're already spending a lot of money with them buying their products. And so for them to provide that education is fantastic. So they have online courses as well as in person.
Right. I remember you went to a couple of classes not long ago.
Yeah.
From our guest speakers.
Yes.
Right. So how do these classes work? I'm assuming there's some product placement in them, otherwise it will make no sense, right? Maybe they release a new SPF or whatever and they show that.
Yeah, it just kind of depends. So some of the classes are about the entire line and what that brand represents, and then other classes are specific to sunscreen, SPF, how to sell. So they can be more than just about that product line. It can help you retail, things like that. Help businesses grow.
Right. That's a great point. Didn't even think, because now I was thinking there's a little bit of a difference between skincare and makeup when it comes to brands and the education that they offer. Okay. For some reason, the makeup world, the brands do not provide any education. If there is any education, is social media, you know, whatever. You could, you know, book a class with a specific artist that's behind the brand. Some of them do that. There are brands that have, you know, their own ambassador, for example, and these people provide classes. But it's not like in skincare brands that, you know, like they have the online academy, whatever, and you open their retail account and they give you the academy to, you know, it doesn't work like that in makeup. I believe it has to do with the fact that makeup is not, there is no active ingredients in makeup 9 times out of 10. Sure, yes, I know there are foundations that have skincare in it, okay? I'm just saying in general, because, you know, they're gonna clock me for shit like this. But, you know, most of makeup has no properties attached to it. It's just makeup. We just put it on to beautify ourselves.
Right, it's just kind of across the board type of thing.
Right, so, you know, I feel like, but that's, and also I think also it could be like, sort of like a marketing scheme, you know, thing, because the less they teach about the products, the more clients buy until they find, you know, until they find what they like. And, you know, the product that comes to mind is foundation. I will always die on this hill. You guys can, everybody, the most asked question I ever had, what's the best foundation? Okay, there's a lot of great foundations out there. This is not an answer that, you know, there's, oh, that's the best one. Everybody likes something different. Everybody has a different skin to begin with. Everybody has a different skincare routine, if they have any. Some people don't even have one. You know, there's no perfect product or best product in makeup. And that's why, you know, every so often there's a new brand that comes out and it's like, oh, I added Upsalite to the foundation and it's a patented ingredients and this is what it does. Okay, so it sounds great on paper. People are like, oh, what does Upsalite do? This is the niacinamides, by the way. Oh, it controls oil. So boom, the people with oily skin, they're attracted to it, right? But the company itself, like the makeup brand, doesn't provide any education. They just throw something out there.
It's all about marketing.
Yes, it's all about marketing, you know, like, and then obviously, you know, if you are a makeup artist, that's when you should go in, you should always, but very few do. But you know, a good makeup artist will be like, okay, Vanessa Myricks released her balms and they have Upsolite in it. What is it? I never heard of this, you know. And then it's up to the professional or the client to go and find the answers. But the makeup brands do not offer that type of support to makeup artists or the public, which I don't think they should to the public. But as makeup artists, why they don't provide education for us?
That's a great question. Why don't you?
Yes, why don't you? You know, and then they have these little videos like Han Van Gogh released the foundations I'm wearing today, and it is love it, but it's a very unique formula in a way. And it's just him, you know, showing how he applies it here and there, but there's no actual, this foundation needs to be worked this way, it has these properties, so this is what you need to do, you know, like there's no actual education for that.
So there's different ways to apply foundation?
Very.
Oh.
Yep. Several different ways. I just posted a video today on TikTok. Wear foundation at 40 years old.
I got a few years.
Two guys.
Hey, yeah, I have 2 years.
But you know, I never really thought about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of I'm an education junkie, I would say, because sometimes after working all day and teaching the students, I'll even go home and watch some videos, and it fills my cup, you know.
I agree. I'm a very curious person, you know. Curious?
That was good.
Curious person, so I like to learn new things. I never really. And if I watch any continuing education, I couldn't care less how many damn followers you have. I'm not attracted by those type of makeup artists. I could not care less. I am attracted by makeup artists who have an extensive portfolios of different skin tones, different women's of all ages, you know, and they have different styles. So if I look up any education from other makeup artists, typically what I do, I go on talents websites, agencies, where they have actual working makeup artists, not people that make content to sell me a product. Actually, you know, makeup artists, and I go through, like for example, the Green Apple is one in New York. The Wall Group is the biggest talent agency in the world. So I go in there, and then, you know, I go into makeup and I scroll through and I see if there's any artists that I really like, and that's when I dig a little bit deeper. The problem when you are seeking education from that type of artist, the problem is that these people typically don't have a social media presence. Very few. Yes, okay. Very few. People don't really know. You know, if you look up, for example, celebrities that go to events and stuff, and you start looking into who did their makeup or their hair, you will find that the majority of the time, these people have a really small social media presence.
Interesting.
Yes, and that's because it's people that actually have to do the job. Like, these people are busy working, they don't have time to do the social media, you know. There are a few, like, again, Han Van Gogh became very popular, so definitely has a following. Patrick Ta, you know, but again, these are artists who eventually decided to go mainstream and either offer a brand with their name attached to it, or maybe, you know, they always do the makeup of a certain celebrity and that's how they acquire notoriety. But when it comes down to covers of magazines or artists that work with celebrities behind the scenes, these people very rarely have a social media presence.
Okay.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
So when you try and you're like, ooh, I really like her work, where do I find, you know, education from her or whatever? More often than not, you're left to old school books.
Wait,
example.
Those paper things?
Yeah, paper things. Yes, paper things, where you can learn, you know, their techniques, or if they have any secrets, you know, or whatever.
Okay.
Yes. So for makeup, it's different. I never really thought about it.
Yeah. One of my other favorite ways to do continuing education is to go to trade shows or to like skincare events. They have a number of ways to get education.
Yeah.
Like at the Skin Games, it was jam-packed full of education.
Right. Yeah, I remember you showed me the timeline of the day, and they had like a 9 days, a 10 days, and there's the makeup show in New York that's very similar. Same idea, same concept. Every hour there's somebody talking, about whatever with techniques. They do master classes and stuff. In Italy, I went to the Cosmo Prof, which is like this 4 days humongous thing that happens in Bologna every year. And even though it's very like products focused, because that's what it is. They show, the new innovations that are going to come out in the future. It's also very educational because you get to see certain ingredients or products or technology before they hit the market.
Yeah.
That's where the buyers of a lot of cosmetic companies go, so they can, see what the manufacturers or suppliers have to offer as far as new stuff, and so it's very educational in that sense, and it also gives you an idea of what's the word I'm looking for? The manufacturing process and supply of cosmetics, because people have no idea, People think that every brand has their own lab and they're mixing foundations,
It's the same with skincare.
Yes.
I mean, I could literally private label skincare,
anything.
And it could be the same product that a med spa is selling.
Exactly.
So, it's just all about who you know, how much money you have.
Yep. Yeah, how much? Yeah, true. So going to events like that, like the Cosmo Pro, for example, it's educational in that sense too. You really get to see it behind the scenes of what happens before anything hits the market.
Yeah.
So that's another way. Are there people here in Kansas City that offer continuing education, or schools? Do we offer a continuing education? No, we don't, right?
We do not. No, but there's lash artists that offer continuing education programs. I think I am going to look a little bit more into putting a program together, like a workbook. Yes. I think that would be cool. I don't have enough going on right now.
Oh, now that you say that, workbook, my former student and friend Lauren Smith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, our brow artist. She, after so many years of doing beautiful brows, she put together Sublime Academy. If I'm wrong, sorry, but I think that's how it is. And she started creating her own brow oil for aftercare.
Okay.
And she put together this whole workbook that's like everything you need to know about brows, brow laminations and all of that. So the chemistry, the hair, the different hair, I got to see it as a preview. And I believe it's like 50, 60 pages, all about brow lamination.
Wow.
And mapping and everything, So, for example, a student that goes through the classic state board prep that we do at the school, that then wants to specialize in that would be some sort of continuing education for them. They can really, specialize into something.
I do always tell the students, we teach you the basis of everything. If you want more knowledge in it, and I highly encourage it, go get continuing education on it.
Right.
That's only going to better you.
Right, very true. Again, and also, like we said earlier, this is a hands-on industry, so reading once from the book or watching a tutorial is not going to put the skills in your hands or your fingers. You got to do the job and practice and practice and practice.
It's not going to make you an expert.
No, it's definitely not going to make you an expert, and you're going to struggle a lot of times before you can, figure it out and offer it as a actual service. It's like me when I looked at the lashes, I was like, sure, lash lift it. What's wrong about it? What's difficult about it? Yeah. And then I started touching them, and I was like, oh.
This is the problem.
This is the problem, gluing them little fuckers to the rod. But like you see it, it seems when you look at it, somewhat of a simple thing, you glue the lashes on, put the step 1, remove, put the step 2, remove, done, the lashes are curled.
I just thought of something. Maybe we should put more videos of struggle. Yeah, put more mistakes on the internet. Show people that could show people that you're real.
Right, true.
That's why I like to put stupid dance videos on my social media.
Yeah, Megan likes that.
Not really, but shows you that I'm goofy. Anyway.
Yeah, great topic, Megan. What do you think?
Yeah. Go out there, get you some education.
Yes, and if you don't know where to find it, or if you're looking for more education, contact us. You can find me on Instagram at Lucrezia Mappelli, MUA, and LMH Beauty Academy KC. And they can also find Megan where?
refresh_SDESTY.
Yeah, and then we have our websites that are going to be linked down below, you guys. If you have any questions about continuing education, please reach out. Or if you know of any interesting classes or anything that it's worth looking at, let us know, because we are always learning. Even though we are instructors, business owners, practitioners, millennials, we are always looking to learn something new as well.
Yep.
Don't forget to turn the bell on to be notified of our episodes, and we will see you next week. Bye.